Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below. Good evening everybody, and welcome along to another round of AOR Hype Energy's XB1 F2 League for Season 16. It is break week for all the tiers tonight except the F2 League, where we'll be doing a rerun of the Canadian Grand Prix at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. I am Jess, your commentator for this evening's proceedings. Unfortunately, my co-commentator Alex could not make it tonight due to the fact that he's at Barcelona for the F1 winter testing. I'm very jealous and I really hope he has a good time. The tyres that we have on offer for today's race is the Hypersofts once again, the Purple Ultras and the Red Super Softs. And since the Hypers can last up to 10 laps around this circuit, one stop around here is pretty much almost guaranteed. Michael Schumacher has won the most around this circuit by winning 7 times between 1994 to 2004. The driver catching up is current champion Lewis Hamilton with 6 wins around the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. I'm sure he wants to chase down Michael Schumacher this year in terms of Canadian Grand Prix wins and titles. And who could not forget the famous Wall of Champions at turn 13, where he's caught a lot of drivers out and had accidents. That includes Michael Schumacher, Damon Hill, Sebastian Vettel and Jenson Button. But we have seen other drivers who are not champions who lose at turn 13 as well, and even seen some AOR drivers fall victims to the famous Wall of Champions as well. So they had to bring up their A game to make sure they don't hit it tonight. There's also been drivers here that have taken their first ever F1 victory in Canada, one being Lewis Hamilton back in 2007, and also 2019 Williams driver Robert Kubica back in 2008. That is a year after he survived a horrendous accident in the circuit. With him racing this year, I'm sure he's going to capture some people's hearts, and maybe we might see a new AOR winner tonight, you never know. Formula Danny sets the pole record on this circuit with a 1:10.0, but due to the handling on this game being so much faster than previous games, we all expect it to be broken tonight. When the top tiers did their races in Canada in Season 16, it was broken by a huge margin. Pole time tonight is expected to be around about the 1:08 on the Ultras and possibly a mid to low 1:07 for the Hypersoft tyres. So here is a 4.3 kilometre circuit with equivalent to 2.7 miles. There's 3 DRS straights and 14 turns. Very much potential to get some very good battles for you today. Now let's have a quick look at the driver standings before we take part in qualifying. So it's looking pretty intense towards the front of the table, with CRL Rosberg currently taking the lead after finishing P2 last time about with all he needed so far. Now, it's going to be very tight. It is still not over for the championships. We've got around 6 or 5 rounds left, and Menley is catching up on his heels with him on being 161 points. Dralix is also catching up with 130 points. But look at the gap between Frangwish, Infamous Clays and York. Due to the fact Infamous Clays could not make it to the race last week, Frangwish was able to get a good result. He actually won last week and he beat him in the standings so far. So it's going to be very, very tight. And also we've got the other McLaren driver of Jork in 6th. We've got Beaver in 7th, Sam F1 LFC in 8th, Verstappen in 9th, and we got John in 10th. So pretty tense already in the championship. And in terms of constructors, I haven't got a graphic for that unfortunately, but Force India and Mercedes are tying for first place in the constructors with 277 points. That is crazy right now, because don't forget the points that Holland and also gained at the beginning of the season does count. So hey ho about that. So anyway, so we are about to get started with qualifying, so I hope you're all ready and let's get this going. So here we are with this very, very, very overcast day here in Canada. I am very excited to commentate around Canada, to be fair, because the race I was going to commentate around Canada, I had a show for a panto. And to be honest, when I got asked to commentate on this again, this time I was available, I was absolutely thrilled. So, you know, and for those of you that are wondering why the Canadian Grand Prix is rerun, there were some lobby issues last time about when they were running it originally. They did do qualifying, and then they got to around lap 3 or lap 4, and it had loads of desync issues and all that jazz, and it had a lot of migrate. It basically had a lot of issues that I don't really want to talk about in the stream right now. So they did a poll, and pretty much everyone voted for the race to be rerun this week. So that is good news. But we only got 15 drivers today, but still we got quite a decent amount of turnout for tonight's race. So hey ho. So that is just an answer to some of you guys' questions in the chat on why the stuff is being rerun. But hey ho, we are in for a very good race today, and we should be some good qualifying. I did see lap times to be around about the 1 minute 7, 1 minute 8, like I said, but it does depend on the tyres. Now, if you do hear a bit of bangs in the background, that's my cat in the wardrobe. I did leave the door open for him, but he keeps banging on it. I really don't know why, so we'll just have to wait and see. But anyway, I am following our current championship leader, Rosberg. He is on his outlap, I believe, now. Actually, no, he's starting his first lap, actually. He's just going through sector 1 and 19.2 for him in sector 1. Not bad at the moment. We don't have a clear indication as to what the weather's going to be like. It is overcast at the moment, so we may see a glimpse of rain in the air. We don't know, but I have decided to not look at the weather forecast until we get to the race, just so I can get a little bit of surprise, as it were, as to what the weather's going to be like. So, Rosberg is going across the next DRS straight. There are more DRS straights than any circuit, I think, to keep in handy, especially this one. It's very important you get right, and there's a yellow flag, which is not going to help Rosberg at all with his lap. He's overcoming traffic as well with Pelsery, which is not going to help him on his lap. But he may choose to go in the pits, he may not. No, he is not. In what lap time is he going to set? It is going to be... Nope, he is slowing down. I think he's going to set another one. Yes, he's setting another one. But 1 minute 11 at the moment, so it's still a valid lap time. But yeah, it looks like he's going up for another one. But current pole sitter at the moment is Beefer with a 1 minute 8. Now, he's on the hypers, and so is Verstappen and Dralix. Now, Verstappen did get a podium last week after his bad luck the last 2 races. And to be honest, we were all pretty relieved, as I must say. So, to be honest, it is great to see him back to full form, and maybe have good form. You never know. And in terms of pace, there's a few people that had good pace around here when the lobby was rerunning. Famous Clays is now back. He was in P3, I believe, once the lobby died during the race and they had to cancel. So I expect him to get a much better lap time than he currently is. He's on 110 at the moment, but don't forget they are on banker laps, so they're not at their fastest as of yet. We've still got 13 minutes of the session to go, so do watch out for these guys as we approach towards the end, because they could turn up the engine, turn up the party mode, as Lewis Hamilton usually does, and sometimes the Ferraris as well. So you never know how the situation goes. So yeah, we've got Clone Troop on the lap at the moment as well. Clone Troop is back. I think he wasn't here last week, I don't think. No, he wasn't. So yes, and I'm just also going to have a quick look at the overall stats about what's going on now. So far, we've had quite a lot of different pole sitters this season. Six pole sitters. The person who has the most poles combined is Dralix and Infamous Clays. They're with 2 poles. And we also have Ollie Smith that got pole once. I think it was in Baku, I think it was. And Rosberg got pole as well, and also Coldhead as well. I forgot what his gamer tag is. So I think it was Beefer. Yeah, it was Beefer. So yeah, so quite a few things. But the only person to get 100% reliability so far this season is actually Menely, who every race he started, he's finished, which is pretty much good. And I think he's been in points every single race as well, so that is pretty good going. So he's definitely a contender for the championship. He's got to play some mind games, to be honest, tonight to make sure that he gets in to do that. So we'll have to know as well. So we've got quite a few people in the chat, so nice to see you as well. hopefully this will keep you entertained as well, because obviously there's only a stream. There is one rerun that's happening later on as well. That's the America League, the PC America League, that's also getting rerun. I think they're going to rerun at Singapore, I think. So you'll get 2 doses of AOR action tonight. You won't get bored of it. So that is good. That is good to see. Infamous is on an outlap at the moment. Fragish is still on the pit. Rosberg's on an outlap, so is Clone Troopers on a lap as well on the Red Bull. Be interesting to see how it does here. A very set to 2 is actually quite short, but don't forget it is quite short laps around Canada, and it's pretty much for the same as pretty much all the other times. Well, yellow flag is set to 2 or set to 3. It's probably people slowing down. I think Hayden is on a lap as well, I think. Country's about to cross the line. He almost hit the wall of champions there. That was very close. But looks a pretty good one from Country. He's on the set of supers. 1 minute 8. That is very good for a set of the super soft tyres. He's one of the faster guys on the set of super soft. So that is pretty intense and very good. He probably thinks he's going to go on those tyres. I think, to be honest, ultras to supers is pretty much the faster strategy, but maybe the supers could be the fastest. There's only a few people on the soft. That is, I think that's Sam and Frangrish. I think nobody else on the set of the super soft. So I have to make sure there's a few people that are hoping for a few people to win, and I am going to call it right now. I'm actually going to call it right now. I think someone who hasn't won this season is going to win in Canada. I'm calling this right now. Prediction. Because, like I said in the track facts intro thingy, it is quite common for people to get their maiden F1 victories here. And we could see it here tonight in Canada. So that is my prediction. I'm calling it right there. So, yeah, let me know your predictions in the chat. And don't forget, you can get involved on Twitter as well by using the hashtag AOR Hype as well. So make sure you do get involved around that. Infamous is still on a lap at the moment. I think he's on his outlap, probably, but I will just see. There's a few people trying to avoid they're kissing the curb. It's looking like a very good slap from Infamous on those set of supers. But 1 minute 9, he improved by 1.1 seconds. It puts him down to P10 though. But I wonder if he'll go on those set of ultras and pay off a little bit. Due to the fact that only a few people on the ultras, this may give a little bit of a hint to what the weather's going to be like. I'm not entirely sure, but again, I don't know what it is. And I've just got a word from Frangrish in the chat. There is going to be a dry race. So, yeah, dry setups from everyone. That's why we're seeing 108, and we may see someone go. I think we could potential to see someone go into the 1 minute 7s. I'm not entirely sure. But, yeah, Rosberg is diving now. We got Beefer in the pits. Verstappen's on a lap. But he's on the WRS. But I don't know. I can't really tell, to be honest with you. As well, Bobbers has been more consistent this season as well. He has got a few penalties, but he has got no qualifying ban now. 1 minute 8.7, that is good on the hypers. So basically the top 6 are separated by around about 8 tenths, I think. Let me just, no, I'm getting the wrong thing up. There we go. So pretty much down to P10, 8 tenths per second, which is pretty decent. I have seen the F2 qualifying times for most of this season, and they've all been incredibly close this race, so pretty good. So Roberts is slowing down. Yeah, Dralix is one of the title contenders as well. He's looking for a good result as well. Let's see what lap time he can do. The yellow flag is set to 1. Not quite entirely sure what that's for, but 1 minute 8, that puts him in P3. 90 thousandths separating the top 3. That is incredible. And I don't think Beaver could get his second pole of the season, which he could draw level with the guys who've also got 2 poles this season. You never know. X-Power's not doing too badly as well on a set of hypers. He's probably going to be one of his best qualifying positions. He did say, though, he was looking very strong in practice, so I wonder if he's going to be strong here as well. We'll just have to find out as the session progresses. As he comes, I need to get the track map up so I could get a clear indication as to what the corner names, because I never get the corner names right on some tracks. So hopefully I will find a track map with corner names so I'm able to get this right. So as he crosses the DRS straight, is he going to get DRS? Yes, he is. Going past the wall of champions quite nicely, in fact. And he doesn't improve. No, he doesn't improve on his lap time. It was probably just one of his outlaps anyway. Close was on an outlap as well. Pretty much everyone is pretty much going for their second stints pretty much just to make sure that they can improve. The second stint and the third stint, in my opinion, is pretty much very, very important for these guys. They've got to make sure they get it right. And I was going to say, if any of these guys have not set any lap times yet, it's very important that they get their lap times in right now. So just got to make sure about that. So anyway, so 6 minutes to go, and looks like it is going to be very, very tense towards the end, and pretty much anyone's in a position to get pole. Rosberg seems to be struggling on a set of hypers. He's last at the moment in terms of pace, so I wonder, he did say to me though earlier on that he was struggling around Canada. Canada is not his favourite track, I must say, so he's got to pick up the pace a little bit. Most of the times he was caught up by traffic in terms of him getting a decent lap in, so unfortunately that wasn't looking the best for him, but to be honest, I do have faith in him, and he can see him improve a little bit. So I'm trying to find a map which has the corner name, so just give me a moment. But whoa, X-Power takes pole position. That's quite of a shot pole position, to be honest. That kind of reminds me of when Matt T1 in F1 does it like that. But to be honest, the hypers can last up to 10 laps around here, so pretty decent stuff. Now I have found the track map, but it's only got a few corners, so that's fine. That is fine. That will have to do. That will have to do for the time being, just while I get this. I think Pelsby was going out or going to the pits. I'm not entirely sure. And for their lap, I keep saying not entirely sure. I should stop really saying that. So I will just keep an eye on that. So Hayden's on a lap at the moment. Let's see what lap time he is on. He looks like a bit of improvement. He lost about 8 tenths. Dork is still in the pits. Rosberg's on a lap now, 19.2. He is catching up. Oh, it's a bit of a look up from him. Not too much though. He's able to keep the car steady through the hairpin. He's going to get the long, I think it's the casino straight. Yeah, it's a casino straight, which is called DRS straight. That's what it's called. There we go. He's looking faster. He hasn't come across more traffic this time, so it's going to look like a pretty fast lap for him. What lap time is he going to set? Is he going to get pole? Provisional pole? No, he's not. He's in P12. So he's got to fight some time, but pretty much all the times are pretty close anyway. So he has more time to do it. As far as I'm aware, the other championship contenders, Menely, is still in the pits, and so is Dralix as well, but I won't be surprised if they go on their outlaps. Clone Troop is in P2, 57. That is crazy to think that the top 4 separated, and they're all people that you won't usually expect to be on pole. They're usually the back markers of F2, and they're at the top. But because Clone Troop has taken a very interesting line there. But in F2, pretty much in any situation, in any track, literally anyone can get pole. Like there's no one that's not too far behind to get pole. Literally anyone can get pole. So to be honest, I may be surprised by this outcome, but some of these guys are managing to find a little bit more attempt than anybody else. So it is good to see. It is good to see. So Alex is going on an outlap. Literally, everyone needs to go into the pits and making sure they get their tyres up. Well, they've got to be careful though, not to push those hypersofts too much, because the ones in the top 10, they got to make sure that they use it in the race. And if they don't use it in the race, that if they push it too much, then it's going to have 1 or 2 less tyre deg, and it's going to cost them a lot more. Actually, more tyre deg, not less tyre deg. Excuse me. Even though it's kind of a similar strategy to Russia on the fact that the hypers do last around about the same time, it's not. Canada has more tyre wear and degradation than Russia. So, to be honest, the difference between the supers and the ultras are probably not that much, but probably a bigger difference to the other tracks that we see in the AOR calendar. And Japan has got a bit of a quite tight deck as well, and a lot of people can get caught out in spoons, but that is where we'll be next week. So that's where I think all the tiers will be in next week in Japan anyway, so they'll be wondering what happens here. So Dralix is looking to improve. He's only got to find about 2 attempts to get a pole. It is probably the closest qualifying I have seen in F2 in ages. It's absolutely insane, but they've had a long time to practice, to be fair. Because they knew that the rerun was going to happen for a long time now. So I don't see it as an excuse, but to be honest, they have done all good. So anyway, and I have seen a few complaints from the drivers in the Twitter chat that a lot of the brake markers have gone. So they're finding it hard if they want to brake at certain times, because usually when you're playing the game, even I find this helpful. I usually find the brake markers helpful when I know when to brake, because for some corners you can brake just before the 100 meter board and get a good turning into the next corner. But if there's no brake markers there, that can cause some severe chaos for the drivers. So that is going to be quite hard for some of them to brake in certain corners. Now Dralix is slowing down, so won't be following him. Frangwish is looking on. Frangwish is on his outlap as well. Let's see who's on the fast one. Here we go. Our one and P2 in the championship at the moment, wanting to close up onto Rosberg. Now I do believe he's on an outlap, not entirely sure, but looks like he's on low ERS mode at the moment to make sure he gains momentum. We'll just have to find out. He's got to get a good result today in order to stand a chance, but maybe people like Pele will be helping Melanie out in terms of the title fight. There will be a few team rivalries there. And whoa! Infamous Clays, pole position at 1 minute 7.9. I did say someone was going to get into the 1 minute 7s tonight, and I wasn't wrong. And it is Infamous Clays. It is his strongest track, I must admit. And he clears X-Power by like 2 seconds. That is absolutely insane. Now, if he wants to get... technically, he's still in this title fight. He's still in this title fight. Melani's improved by 2 tenths in the first sector. I can't really tell if it's purple or green by the looks of things, but Melanie is looking like he's going on a fast one. Right now, he's on high ERS mode. We've got Mercedes slowing down. That's probably Infamous or Rosberg, not entirely sure. But yeah, Melanie's on a fast one. He is pushing it. He wants to beat him, and he's got 10 seconds to go. I wonder who's going to be the last to cross the line to set a final lap. I'm not entirely sure. It's not going to be Melanie, at least. Infamous will have time to set a final lap, I think, as well. So just watch out to see if those lap times are going to be close. We'll just have to find out. As he's gone through the DRS straight, he's about to head towards the tight right hand of the wall of champions. It's looking good. He hugs the corner. What lap time are you going to say? It's going to be insanely quick, I can tell. 1 minute 8. P8 at the moment. You can tell the lap times are going to be close. Infamous is on a lap time. He's going towards the final bit of set to 3. No, he's going into the pit, so he's not going to. Drallis P2. So the two PSR boys, P1 and 2 at the moment. X-Power though, he's one of the ones that's going to challenge for pole because he had it for a slight moment. He did hit the DRS a bit too late there, so that's probably cost him a little bit more time. He's the last person that can potentially get pole. Nope, he's going into the pits. Let's see what LGS is doing. LGS, that's a really fast final sector. That could be pretty good for him. Oh, he's hit the wall and he's out of qualifying. He's not going to improve. Rosberg does not improve either. He's in last place. But Infamous Clays is on pole position. He hasn't had a pole in a while, but I think it's his 3rd pole position. I'm not entirely sure. So he's in the lead for poles this season, which is pretty good. And Dralix is almost about to hit LGS, but luckily it was ghosted. So, yeah, pretty well deserved from Infamous there. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see his lap time, but from what I've heard, it was a very good lap. So, definitely well deserved for Infamous Clays there to take that pole position. It is going to be absolutely tight to get him onto the line. And interestingly enough, Infamous Clays sets the faster time in the set of Ultras. Now, that is remarkable. I was expecting someone to go onto the Hypers and go on that time, but he went on a set of Ultra Soft tyres. So that's completely shocked me, and that's probably given the Hypersoft runners a little bit of run of the money. So if I was to bet someone to take the race victory now, it could be Infamous, you know. As long as he doesn't bottle it, we'll have to wait and see. But he takes pole with Dralix in P2, a good qualifying for him. Beefer in 3rd, X-Power in P4, Boberts in P5, Sam F1 in P6, Clone Troop in P7, Bailey Verstappen in P8, Pelzery in Pill? What am I saying? My words are not coming out right tonight. But anyway, Pelzery in P9 and Menely rounding up your top 10 with Frangwish, Jork, LGS, Hayden and Rosberg. 1.2 seconds separated the top 15. That is absolutely insane. So, you know, pretty much good. There's a few people in the chat, a few of the drivers in the chat, that they lost so much time in the final sector. And very interestingly there. Yeah, LGS actually, Luke was actually pointing out actually in the chat that LGS did hit the wall of champions. I kind of jinxed on who was going to hit the wall of champions, but we do have our first victim of LGS. So, yeah, Clone Troop is pretty happy with P7 on Seb Ultras, so that is good for him. So some pretty good lap times by everyone tonight. They've all up their game, I must say, but hopefully things will go uphill from here in terms of the lobby. Hopefully things will be okay and we can get underway. Things are looking okay so far, so I'm going to touch wood. I hope you guys are going to touch wood as well. If you just joined us, welcome to the AOR XB1 F2 Rerun. And before we start, here is a quick ad break from our very own Hype Energy. Okay, then we are about to get underway. That was just in time there. I couldn't have called it better myself. So that was brilliant. I'm actually so happy that I timed that right. But anyway, I'm just going to get the tyres up quickly as to what the tyre strategy are going to be for people tonight. I don't have the little pit strategy thing, because obviously it is a rerun. So I'm just going to quickly in mind on when the hype is going to last around about lap 10. The only people on the hypers in the top 10 are Dralix, Beefer, X-Power, Bobbert, Sam, and also Verstappen as well. We've got Clone Troop, Infamous, Pelzery, and Melanie on the Ultras, as well as Frangwish, Jorg, and LGS. Aiden's on the Supers, which is very interesting, and also Rosberg. So all three tyres are used for this race session. So that's going to be very, very decent stuff in terms of that. So I think the Ultras don't last that long either as well. Probably a few laps more than the Hypers, I think. It goes to around lap 12, 13, and then the Supers last quite a little bit more than that. So just have to be careful these tyres don't heat up as much. But there we go. I think everyone seems to be alright in the formation lap so far, and it's very important you actually run this formation lap, because otherwise you are going to get some issues in terms of tyre egg. We do see a yellow flag and set to 3. Hopefully no one gets disqualified, please, because I've seen in every F2 race so far that we've got a few people getting disqualified. So yeah, but hopefully it's all okay and we can about to get underway pretty shortly. And this should be a very good race. I'm absolutely pumped for Canada, guys. I mean, it's one of my favourite tracks in the calendar, mainly because it has a lot of battles. Unfortunately, in real life, last year we didn't get that much battles, but maybe we'll see some battles here tonight. You never know. As the top 3 in the championship are looking to close in the gap or extend the gap in Rosberg. Okay, Rosberg is going on for a bit of an uphill battle if he wants to do that now. He's the last person to fill his grid spot. So I hope you're all ready, guys. We are about to get underway. 1 light, 2 light, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it is lights out and away we go. It's a pretty decent start from Infamous Clays, and Dralix off to a great start as well. We do see Hayden dropping off in the background, but are they going to make it through to see cleanly turn 1? Oh, we've seen one of the Salvers losing it. I think it was Pelzery as well that lost it in a Salver, but everyone else seems to be okay at the moment. Rosberg gaining some decent ground already into the first couple of corners. Jorg as well gaining, and we do see some contact already throughout the first opening stages of the race. Very tight exit needed there. Roberts manages to hold on ever so slightly there. So pretty decent stuff. And Infamous Clays has got the dream start already, and he's 8/10 behind Dralix, and now it is 8/10. So but definitely Dralix is definitely going to catch up on those hyper soft tyres. X-Power managing to avoid contact on these first couple of corners, which is good to see. But he's almost went a little bit wide towards Beaver. Oh, that's very tight as well as X-Power is trying to get some ground as well. Verstappen getting some ground as well. They're side by side going through this long straight here. The DRS straight, don't forget, it is disabled, don't forget. And Beaver challenging for position as well as Verstappen. He's all over the back of him. He almost forced Sam off the track there. That was incredible. But looks like Verstappen's going to take the outside line. And Sam taking the inside. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Only just, though. He does that very well. And what about P4 as well? He's on the same amount of tyres as X-Power. Then X-Power managing to pull away and get a bit more straight line speed than Beaver is doing at this moment in time. So pretty decent stuff from Beaver managing to gain a few positions as well. I will give my award as well to whoever has gained the most positions in the opening lap as well. So I have to make sure as well. So there's a few people watching. Oh, we got a yellow flag. Oh, Pelsry's out. Pelsry's out of the race. He's bottled it. I can't really see where he's bottled it. I'm going to follow Roberts to see where he has bottled it. It is probably, I'm guessing, it's probably around about the final bit of sector 3, I think, but probably his car, oh my word, it's towards the start of sector 3 actually. He hit the wall. I'm not sure he had made contact with someone, not entirely sure, but it looked like he was doing it on his own there. So unfortunate, because he was looking to help Manley in terms of the title fight, but unfortunately Manley is on his own for that one. But in famous play, he's already staying fast laps of the Grand Prix already on a set of ultras. And one of the tyres are starting to wear out for drag. We'll have to find out. It will come to the point of the race where the ultras will come into their own a little bit. But meanwhile, Jork in P8, the two teammates are fighting against each other. But I wonder, is Jork going to play the mind game? Is he going to stay behind Manley in order to help the title fight? Because Manley is P2 in the championship. Jork's around about P7 and P8. So I wonder how this is going to play out for the two McLaren boys in terms of getting the strategy right. Because obviously, you don't, at this stage, I think if I was them, I'll probably force to help my teammate out if I was still lower in the championships. I wonder what these two McLaren guys are going to be thinking at this moment in time. As we got Rosberg going side by side on Jork there. Jork defending quite nicely on him at the moment. Rosberg has really got to make some ground. Now, let's just see actually. Rosberg's getting the DRS that he needs. The first DRS activation zone that is eligible, I must say. Or it might be in the second one, I'm not entirely sure. Very, very tight exit. The top four running head to toe to nail at the moment, going towards the start for this straight. But look at Rosberg though. Rosberg's getting a better line, but look at Frank, not far behind as well. Very tight towards turn one. It looks like it's almost going to be 3 wide. Oh, the McLaren has been pushed off the circuit. That's not good from Jork. He's dropped it down into P10. It might be a racing incident, I'm not entirely sure, but Frank is right behind Rosberg now. So I wonder if he's going to make some ground. And LGS, I think, has got disconnected. I'm not entirely sure. Fingers crossed he will come back. Hayden is going into the pits, so his tyres, Hypersoft, his supers were not having a day to remember at the moment, and it does have less grip, I must say. But look at Rosberg on Manley. He's around about 2/10 behind him at this stage out of the two championship rivals. Don't forget, surely not then trying to make a move around this tight corner around here. Very tight exit. Rosberg can't afford to make a mistake. He doesn't. He's up into P7, but look at Frangwish though. Frangwish is also going to challenge Manley. He must be on the defensive as well. He was on the attack, and now he's on the defence. And they're all DRS straight at the moment. Rosberg and Manley taking much similar to that line, but obviously Manley more on the defence than Rosberg. And X-Power gets his final penalty, his first penalty of the race. Frangwish almost hits the wall of champions. And Manley tries to cover Rosberg off. Very tight exit going into turn one. Frangwish trying to hold Manley off, so that was an interesting tactic from Frangwish, I must say. The midfield battles are absolutely good today. I wasn't wrong in saying there's going to be loads of battles in Canada, and it is starting to brighten up as well. So the track temperature will start to get quite hot as well. In terms of, wow, Roberts, 1 minute 11 on the set of Superstars. I think that's decent stuff from Roberts. Roberts is around, I think, P13. Now let's look, see who's going to get my award for who's getting the most position in the first 5 laps. And that has got to be Rosberg. Rosberg is, I think, from last place, and he's now up into P7. So, very, very decent stuff from him. So he gets my award for getting the most positions in that, and I'll probably get another award of who's gained the most as well. And don't forget there will be driver of the day as well. Frank a little bit too further back to get Melanie at this stage, so I wonder if he's going to challenge him. Maybe he will challenge him on the start finish straight, I don't know. There's still a train forming quite closely. I think one of them broke a little bit too late there, which forced Frank to slow down a little bit. Not entirely sure, but Melanie's going to try and make a move towards T1 again on Rosberg, but unfortunately he did not quite make that stick at the moment. He's really got to make that move now, because soon there will be pit stops, and track position is very key. And in terms of tyres, they're on similar strategy of Melanie and Rosberg, so it depends on when these guys pit and when they want to do it. And if they pit around at the same time, that's going to get things going to get chaos. Oh, Hayden's out of the session then. Didn't quite see what happened there, but unfortunately we can't get that out, so I couldn't see what happened now. That's a feature that they really must bring to the game. Meanwhile, battle for P3 actually is quite hotting up as well. Oh, that was I think one of them broke a bit too late again, but I think Verstappen looked up a little bit and almost hit the salvo of Beaver. We've got X-Power and Beaver finding it out as well. Verstappen's gained 5 new positions too. They're on a set of Hypersoft, and they don't see a chance of wearing out. Beaver makes a very audacious move around the outside there, as Beaver's now up into P3 and proceeded. I don't see a bit of debris there, so I do believe there must have been a little bit of contact. Beaver's gone on the grass there. So we've got X-Power and Verstappen running side by side. Someone, I think, almost running a bit off the track there. Don't know what happened. Stan is joining in the party as well. This is getting absolutely intense between these guys. And also Rosberg's joining. Whoa, look at that train. Look at that train. Holy moly. And all of this for a battle for P5 or P4, I must say, as Verstappen has stayed in P4. Let me just catch the back of that train to see how close it is. Rosberg's going to try and make a move on Sam. This is probably the biggest train I've seen in Xbox One F2 history. And I wonder how this is going to play out for the rest of this race. Sam's going to try and make a move on Rosberg. Very, very tight exit. No, it's on X-Power, I mean. Very tight exit there. Rosberg was almost able to capitalise on that mistake that the other guys were making. Rosberg was almost trying to go into the middle. The two McLaren drivers fighting for position as well. Jork and Melanie and Frangwich as well. Frangwich not that far behind as well. Melanie managing to hold on to P8 only just though. But look at Frangwich though. Frangwich getting position as well. And also X-Power and Rosberg. No matter how hard I look, there's battles going left, right and centre. I've never seen a race like this in Xbox One F2, where battles go on every lap. Insane. Rosberg's now up into P6. He's still going to charge Sam, but he's also got X-Power charging as well. But maybe Rosberg is managing his tyres a lot more than the other guys as well. We'll just have to wait and see. He's a bit too further back from Verstappen, or X-Power's gone on a penalty. He's going to have Frangwich not that far behind as well. I'm sure that's easily going to be a move from Frangwich, considering X-Power's got a penalty and Frangwich hasn't. Oh, why did it cut to this camera? I don't really want it to be cut to this camera, but unfortunately it did. But it looks like Frangwich got that move done on X-Power. And looks like the two McLaren drivers are fighting for position as well. X-Power had a bit of a lock-up again. And yeah, it looks like the two McLaren... Yeah, the two McLarens easily got a move done on X-Power there. So the two McLarens P8 and P9 respectively. Sam and Rosberg fight. We also got the hat of Verstappen as well. We have someone going into the pits. That is Verstappen, I believe. So he thinks his tyres are not going to go for very long. We'll just have to find out. Frangwich is on the back of Sam as well. This is going to be very tight going towards T1 and T2. I wonder how this is going to end up. But this is turning out to be a very good race so far. I'm very impressed with how these guys are doing so far, which is really, really good. Them kissing the curb just a little bit, kissing it like your favourite granny, as Andy and Cosy says. Sorry, I had to put that in there. I really wanted to say it, and I did say it, so you can thank me later. I really should have said that. I do apologise, but Frangwich is going to take the right-hand sideline of Sam F1. Is he going to do it? No. Oh, that was a bit of a slide from Frangwich there. He couldn't quite make it on this occasion. But Sam is seems to be doing very well, holding on to P5 of this race so far. But don't forget, Verstappen is the only one who is pitted. He's going onto a set of supers, but one of these supers are going to make it to the end if he's doing a hyper to super. I was expecting him to do hypers to ultras, but possibly hypers to supers will be a lot faster. A lot of people were saying if they were going on to a set of hypers or tires, they will go on to a set of supers to make it to the end. Sam is going into the pits right now. Dralic's going into the pits right now. That's interesting as well. So I think all the hypersoft runners are going into the pits right now. Dralic also goes on to a set of supers. How about X-Power? X-Power also onto a set of supers. Beaver jumping Sam almost there. Verstappen clears off the rest of them, and yeah, he gets a jump almost with Verstappen. Very tight into turn one with Beaver and Verstappen. And Beaver manages it only just though. And Dralic gets ahead of Beaver, and Verstappen stays pretty much a net P2, I believe. As well, so all the hyper soft runners have pitted, and we still got the ultra soft runners to pit around about a couple of laps time already. So biggest gainer is Rosberg, who is P4 at the moment, now in P2 on track at this stage. So the two Mercedes runners, where you possibly might expect in some tracks, obviously Monza is one where they were dominating pretty much until Infamous Clays made a little bit of a mistake as well. We've got the two Ferrari drivers fighting for P9 and P10. Oh, we got LGS ghosted, so that's probably not going to cost him. We've got Bobbits is getting position due to that as well in P10. Franglish could be a dark horse in this race for him to get another win, as he's right on the back of Rosberg right now. Infamous is already pulling up a very good gap between the leaders. He's around about 11.5 seconds right now, as Franglish is going to do all he can. He's around about 2/10 closing Rosberg. He's having a good latter half stage of this season so far, Franglish. He didn't have a good season in season 15, but boy, he has changed his tune from season 16. He is in 4th place in the championship, and he can potentially get P3 at the end of this as well. He keeps this up, so doing very well to catch up to Rosberg. He's doing very well on ERS. Let's see how Rosberg is. He's a little lower ERS than Franglish, so Franglish is going to have a little bit more of an advantage compared to Rosberg. Oh, we got a yellow flag. Oh, that's probably my game glitching out. Sorry, my bad. For some of these things, they are saying all the game glitches for me, but it's not. It's okay. It's all good. It's all good. And Franglish looks like he's going to take the right-hand side line, but he backs out of it a little bit. He's going to have another chance towards it. All there's a tyre still on the circuit there. I'm surprised that it hasn't been cleared up yet. But T1 overtake inbound coming from Rosberg, but Franglish is not going to let him have it this easy. Franglish is in P2, and Rosberg is now in the lead because Infamous Clays is now pitted onto a set of supers. Rosberg is going to pit a lap later, because obviously the two teammates, you can't really share the same pit box, unfortunately. Very tight to negotiate, I must say. Franglish is going to try and make a move once again on the bricks. Obviously they're both bricks. I don't know why I'm calling them brick. And Franglish doesn't have a team anymore because his old team has disbanded, so that's why his gamer tag has been changed to AOR Franglish. I think he's on his own for the rest of the season now. So he's got his own mindset to make sure he gets some good results, and maybe this might help him ever so slightly. So he wants to get a good result and show that he means business in this championship. He's about 1/10. They both Franglish is going to have advantage of the DRS going into the final corner. Rosberg pits anyway. Franglish didn't need to make that move. As Franglish is going into the lead, he's probably going to pit again soon as well. Let's follow Infamous. Infamous overtakes Rosberg on track quite easily, in fact. Let's see where Jorg is in the pits as well. Dralix has got across the start pit straight. Let's see where he ends up. Mainly gets a time penalty. Where's Rosberg? Dralix comes up comfortably ahead of Rosberg. Rosberg drops it into P9. We've still got the likes of Sam to pit as well. Whoa, that's very tight entry for Rosberg, and Sam into T1. Rosberg's on new and tight, so I feel like he may have a little bit of an advantage here. But I think we do have issues in set to 1. No, we don't. Again, that is game's issue, not mine. Franglish managing to pull away on this set of Ultrasoft though. Let's look at the gap though between the leader a second. Franglish is probably going to come out in P7, I believe, as far as I'm concerned. So pretty much the order's going to stay as it is at the moment, unless there's people that make mistakes. But Joker's got a 3-second time penalty. A lot of people are getting time penalties here. This is another track where we have seen time penalties, where we have seen that. And yeah, and another fastest lap for the Infamous. So definitely the super soft are the tyres to be on right now. Literally everybody is going on to a set of supers right now. So I think Fanglish is going to come out. Rosberg's coming across the start of the straight is going to be ever so close towards Rosberg, but I think he just nails it ever so slightly. But there's a train right behind Fanglish as well, which he almost avoided, which is very good to see as well. So Fanglish came on the same place as Rosberg did, in front of Sam. So that was a pretty decent pit stop from Fanglish then. So pretty decent stuff already. So looking like this Grand Prix is working out according to plan in terms of lobby sake. So that is good to see as well, as Sam is only losing some ground on the set of supers. Maybe is not hoping the way he would have liked at this moment in time. We got Beaver and Verstappen gaining some ground as well, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here as well on how this goes. As Verstappen feels like he's got a little bit of more straight line set up, and I've my control just disconnected there. There we go, it's back to normal. But luckily there wasn't any battles. There's still a tyre on the circuit bit. Why have they cleared it up? I think they really should have cleared it up, because that could have been dangerous. But luckily I think that was ghosted anyway. I think that was what it was anyway. But Beaver was closing up to Verstappen, but I wonder if Rosberg is going to close up onto Fanglish. I'm not entirely sure. No, to Beaver, I mean. Not Fanglish. Fanglish is still closing up onto Rosberg though. He's on newer tyres, so I wonder if he's going to get the move done. We'll have to wait and see. LGS dropping his way up the field at the moment. Don't forget, it's disconnected. One of the other McLaren drivers, Jorka's also lost position as well and has lost ground. Roberts gaining a time penalty. Oh, that's not good. That is not good, Roberts, my friend. And we've seen, I think tonight we have seen the same amount of people getting penalties. So this could be a situation where the race will be decided on penalties, but we'll have to wait and see. Again, massive shout out to all you guys who are watching in the chat as well. If you are liking the stream so far, don't forget to leave a like on the stream and also subscribe and turn notifications on, so you know when to see a stream next. But meanwhile, Fanglish is not that far behind Rosberg. Rosberg setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, so Rosberg getting a little bit more pace than Fanglish there. Fanglish is always on the back of Rosberg in the start of sets one. We still see Beaver and Verstappen right in front of them as well, having their own little battle as it were as well, catching up as well. So very, very close indeed for the pair of them as they approach almost to the halfway point of this Grand Prix. And I really hope you guys are enjoying this so far with the amount of battles that we're having already this race. And Infamous is definitely on the class on his own. 1 point I was predicting a new winner would win this race, but then I predicted that Infamous could. Oh, Fanglish is getting a time penalty, so he's going to lose a bit of ground as well if he's going to try and hold on to P6. But Sam has got a few penalties as well, so he's got to watch out to make sure he doesn't get any more penalties. Again, I will check penalties towards the end of the race, because obviously we've still got some battles to contend with. Beaver's still closing up to Verstappen quite nicely there as well, and Dralix is running his little race as well, but Verstappen is not finding the pace to catch up to Dralix in the half. So it looks like Dralix might hold on to P2, but Verstappen may find a bit more grip towards the end. But Dralix is on new tyres though, don't forget. And I wonder again, will those teammates be working together, and will they choose to have a little bit of grip? We'll just have to find out. Meanwhile, Bobbers though in P8, he's got Millie charging up on him as well. That is very interesting. Don't forget the battle for the points paying position is still on here, the Canadian Grand Prix. It is every man and every woman for themselves, as Roberts is very, very tight, I must say, negotiating these corners, as Melly is finding a little bit more ground, as he's going to get more slipstream, I think, for Roberts, as he's taken the right hand side line. And I think he's going to try again across the DRS straight by the looks of things. Is he going to try it? And he's very, very quick reacting to the DRS, so that's definitely going to help him. If I was him, he'll probably take the right-hand side line, but Bobbers does go defensive there towards that final corner. So, yeah, Bobbers easily hold on to P8 for now. But this could all change as we go towards the end. Oh, we do have X-Power hitting the Wall of Champions there in the background. So, another victim of the Wall of Champions, but not that much of a victim because it was just a bit of a graze. And I think there was only minor damage there. Luckily, he can carry on towards the end there. So, yeah, not much victims we're seeing with the Wall of Champions, but we may have seen a few, but we might not have caught them. As Medley easily squeezes past Bobbers there. Oh my word, I've always changed to the one person, but there we go. He squeezes past Bobbers there. They're going to go side by side again. Verstappen getting another 3-second time penalty. He's got to be careful. He's probably on some other warnings as well then, as Bobbers is already losing some time already to Medley. I don't think Medley has got penalties. So he is running a clean race so far. So potential P7, P6 could be on the cards for Medley, or he could get up higher. We'll have to wait and see. Medley was looking strong in practice. So I wonder how this is going to turn out as well. But we've got a four-way battle for P3 then for the last podium position. As Frank, is looking to go onto the left-hand side of Beaver. Let's see how this is going to play out as they go towards T1 side by side. I think they're pretty much equal on penalties anyway, so they're even Stevens. Franwish gets the move done and he's up into P5. What a remarkable move from them. I don't know how they managed to keep it clean there into T1, but they managed to do it anyway. So pretty decent stuff from the Toro Rosso driver, almost hitting them all there. But luckily that was a decent save, I must say, from them. Let me just get the interval back up as well, because look at Rosberg. Rosberg is not that far from Verstappen. Verstappen does seem to be struggling on 10-lap used tyres, so I wonder if he pit a little bit too early. I don't know, as Rosberg is managing to get some more round already. Rosberg is still gaining the most positions this race as well then, so that is pretty much good to see as well for them too. We're going to go side by side into that very tough little hairpin, and looks like Verstappen almost hit the wall. Rosberg manages to get into P3 there quite considerably as well, and Verstappen has lost another position. Franwish now up into P4 as well, as Franwish has one less penalty than Verstappen, and it looks like Verstappen is going into the pits. His tyres have had enough, I think, due to the instance that he has had. Very bad luck from Verstappen so far, but hopefully he can recover from his mistakes earlier on in the race. So what is he going to pit on, I wonder? Is he going to go on to another set of supers? No. Hypers? What? He's going on a set of Hypersofts? No, it's Ultras. It's saying it's Hypersofts on the car, but no, it's not. It's a set of the... Oh. It looked like Verstappen almost got stuck in the pit lane, but luckily he didn't, so that's all good. Jobs are good and we're all good. So, hey-ho, as Beaver is now in P5. He's losing a bit of ground to Sam right now. They're on similar tyre degradation at the moment, by the sound of things. Frank, which is not that far behind Rosberg. He's finding a little bit more time. He's on newer tyres, so I wonder if this is going to help him. Oh, Clone Troop is out. Clone Troop is out of the session. Let me just follow Verstappen to see if I can get a clear glimpse of if the incident. I think it was the same corner that Hayden had Sauber had an incident earlier on as well. So that was another DNF for Clone Troop Brooks. He's had a lot of DNFs this season in F2, and he's having bad luck after bad luck, and I hope he has good luck soon. But as Fangwish goes past T1, unfortunately wasn't going to make the move done on Rosberg, but I think he has potential. He has newer tyres. I think he could get that move done easily there. But I think Rosberg is going to challenge Fangwish. He's not going to make that challenge that easy, I must say, and it's going to be potential for risk for both of these guys, but they are protecting a few people, I must say, so they are keeping their cool at the moment as well, and it's going to be very, very tight to get right as well, and you've got to be careful to not lose more time, as Rosberg is getting some more time on Dralix too, so that's going to be very tight. We've got a grandstand full at the moment of people wanting to watch this intense battle as well. We're pretty much in the North America / Canadian part of the season now in F2, as the European season has ended last week in Russia. Fangwish is going to try and make the move on Rosberg. Is going to take the right hand side. Rosberg goes defensive though into T1. Very, very tight entry between those two. It looked like contact for a minute, but thank goodness there wasn't contact, as Rosberg gets the move, tries to go defensive, and he does, and he holds on to P3. So his next challenge is definitely going to be on Dralix then. Vanquish almost had the move done. I was hoping he was going to get it done because it would have been a nice challenge, but unfortunately he went a little bit wide and that cost him ever so slightly there. So that is why that is where he is in a P4 for now. So that is where he currently is. Dralix is in P10, but in famous plays. I haven't been following much of him, but he's comfortably been taking the lead since the start. He did say he was looking very strong in practice, so to be honest, I'm not really that surprised. But I'm not going to say any more. I don't want to jinx anybody, because I am known for jinxing people in Xbox One F2, and I don't want to be the reason ruining somebody else's race. Vanquish is going to take another attempt across the final couple of corners. I wonder if he's going to have the better chance. Nope, he is not. Rosberg actually goes on the right-hand sideline this time, so Rosberg takes the inside line. Vanquish stays behind Rosberg for now. Very tight entry again, and yeah, he holds on to P3. I wonder what other battles we've got. We've got Menley and Sam as well catching up, but the closest battle is definitely between Vanquish and Rosberg. It's going to be around, it's pretty much round 3 or round 4. I'm losing track of the rounds, to be honest, on when they're going to overtake Verstappen, setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far, so he definitely wants some glory. X-Power getting another 3-second time penalty. Holy moly. And a bit of a slide again from Vanquish. Could that be a costly mistake? Oh, Verstappen's out! Verstappen's out of the session. It's probably going to be the same corner as the Sauber guy and the Clone Trooper's gone off. No, it's actually the opposite corner. We do have a virtual safety car. So we've had a safety car last race. Now we've got a virtual safety car this race. Holy actually, no, we didn't have a safety car. I was thinking of another league. Excuse me. I wonder then, will the guys that have been on those supers about to go to the pits, will they have time to pit and do a gamble? It is pretty much a gamble because usually the virtual safety car doesn't last long. So I wonder if it's a risk worth making. Oh, Beaver, he's timed that a little bit wrong. He thought he was going to stay longer, but unfortunately it didn't. So that's going to drop him down. But he's going to go onto a set of Ultras, so he may make up some ground being on a softer tyre compared to everybody else. Luckily, no one is on a set of Hypers. Me taking a little bit of a sip of my drink there because my voice is starting to run out usually. It does usually start to run out when I do solo commentaries like this so far. So Vanquish, now because of the virtual safety car, Vanquish is now evenly close to Rosberg again, around the same corners. I can lost count of how many times they're going to get on that battle. Rosberg's still closing up, so Vanquish, oh, Vanquish hitting Rosberg ever so slightly. Might be a bit of damage from Rosberg's car, I'm not entirely sure. But it looks like from this angle, I think Rosberg is okay by the sound of things. So it is looking good for the top 3 so far. Vanquish is look like he's going to be on the back of Rosberg though. It's going to be a very tight entry. I won't be surprised if Vanquish easily gets it done at some point. Now, due to the fact that Rosberg is closing up to Dralix, Vanquish can easily capitalise on if any mistakes are made between Rosberg and Dralix. So Vanquish is definitely in a prime position now. Oh my word, what has happened? Vanquish hit Rosberg by the sound of things, and Rosberg has lost it. Oh my word, he's lost it again. Rosberg is out. He's hit Sam as well. Holy moly, what drama has been caused already at this Canadian Grand Prix. I wasn't expecting that. That was a bit of a gamble from Vanquish there to overtake at a corner, not necessarily to be overtaken. That is very unfortunate for Rosberg. That is not going to help in terms of the championship. Manley's in P4, so he's going to close up to the championship there as well. So far we lost a title contender and one who's going to lead, and looks like we may have a change in leaders for the championship at the end, as long as Manley stays where he are. So Manley must be breathing a sigh of relief right now. That his one of his championship contenders is now out of the running to get points here. Vanquish is going into the pits right now, so he must have sustained a little bit of damage as well. It looks like Sam is going. I think Sam's going to go to the pits. Sam's lost a bit of his front wing as well. Yes, he's going into the pits as well. So I think, to be honest, from Sam's perspective, Sam had nowhere to go by the looks of things. So there was nothing he could do to avoid that. So that means Manley is in the podium position. But I wonder if he's going to catch up to the two other super soft runners. Only time will tell. There could be a point where Dralix's tyres do start to run out ever so slightly, but Menley's on similar tyres to Infamous. So, yes, I do have a question on about race setup. I'm not entirely sure what some of these guys have been doing in terms of race setup. Some of them have been running high ballast, which worked for some of them, but not worked for some people, but we'll have to wait and see. We're on lap 26. But what a major turn for events, and it just goes to show it is not over until the checker flag falls. Rosberg has been the biggest gainer so far this race, and due to that audacious move from Frankwish, I think Frankwish, he couldn't go anywhere as well. So I think that might have been a racing, or it might have been desync. If it was desync, unfortunately, that would have cost him ever so slightly. So yeah, so now we're pretty much at a stage now that the top 10, any people from the top 10 can pretty much get points now at this latter stage of the race. So there's some of these guys need to be a little bit less dirty, I must say. Otherwise, there could be incidents like this, and we don't really want that at this stage, which means the gaps now are pretty much, I think the closest one is between Beefer and X-Power. Beefer getting another 3-second time penalty. That was a little bit of a cut, but not much of a cut. I guess he got multiple warnings that costed him that time penalty. I think whilst we're on the subject of penalties, and due to the fact there are not much battles going on, let's look at penalties. Let's quickly check the race director. Infamous has, let me just go on Infamous. He's got a warning. He's got 2 warnings, actually. He's got to be careful, otherwise you're getting a penalty. Dralix is on 1 warning. So he's in a better position than Infamous by the looks of things. Melanie has, he had 2 warnings at the start. He's got a penalty and a warning. X-Power, he's got loads of penalties. Beefer, he's got a warning, few warnings. Yeah, he had 3 warnings, and then that led to his penalty. How many penalties has Frangwish got? Now that will all be interesting. He's got 1 penalty, and he's got 2 warnings. He's got 2 warnings added on top of that. So that is the story of the penalty situation. But I don't usually look at the race director. But when I'm on my own, I have no other choice. Usually, I get the co-commentator to do that for that as well. So luckily, I was able to check because it was a quiet moment of the race. But look at Beefer though. Whilst we were doing that, Beefer was trying to find a little bit more time on X-Power. Maybe X-Power is struggling on those ultras a little bit, just like he was with the hypers at the beginning of the race with X-Power. So I wonder how that's going to play out here. Beefer's going to take the right-hand side line. X-Power goes defensive though, going into this tight little hairpin. I wonder if X-Power's going to get that switch back. No, he does not. Beefer holds on to P4. He's going to get good points in terms of the constructors. Now, in terms of constructors, it's really going to heat up. I won't have time to check the constructors, actually. This will involve me getting another page out on my laptop. But hey-ho about that. So X-Power is already losing an incredible amount of time. But he's going to challenge for position again, I think, into T1. But a little bit too further back to make the move. Frank, which is now 1.1 seconds behind Roberts. I think Roberts is getting positions as well. So it's pretty much going to be a race that's going to be decided for some of them on penalty. And we really don't want that to happen. But the top 2 haven't got penalties. So pretty much it's going to be even Stevens there. It's a shame that we haven't got a lead lap battle for the end there. But Infamous is pretty much driven pretty much his own race, pretty much from start to finish. He set a good lap in qualifying, and again, not going to jinx anything more, I must say, as Frank, which is right behind Bobbers now. He can't afford to make the same mistake as he did earlier. And oh, we got Sam and Jork on the set of hypers. I've only just noticed that. I do apologise. Sam's on the hypers, Jork's on the hypers. So very interestingly there. But I'm guessing they just want fastest lap glory. So battle for fastest lap glory is going to set to be between Sam and Jork. And Frank was using a bit of time to Bobbers by the sound of things. Well, lap 30 then. 5 laps to go. Unfortunately, we don't have a driver of the day polls due to the fact that there is a rerun. But just let us know in the chat. Just let us know in the chat who you want for driver of the day, and I think I can take the ones with the most comments in the chat. They'll get driver of the day. That's how it's going to work out here in Canada. And what's been your favourite part of the race so far? There's been some very interesting moments. That doesn't even make sense. Why am I putting these sentences together? I don't know. But anyway, there's been some very interesting moments, I must say, in this race so far. As Vanquish is going to look to take another move. No, he is not, by the sound of it. No, he is not. And Infamous Clay is going to start lap 31. Dralix is dropping a little bit more time on Menely. Menely's gained about 2 seconds that lap, so I wonder if he's going to gain more time towards the end of that race. We'll have to wait and see. As well as we get towards the end there, David, also known as Rosberg, and he's livid. He's a bit disappointed with how he handled that. But it is racing at times. There could be some issues, but hopefully he can bounce back. Obviously, in the next round, I think it is. I forgot what the next round is. It's Japan, I think, next week. Yeah, it is Japan. I need to cross my mind to it. Frank getting another penalty. That he's on now too, but I did check penalties anyway a few laps ago, and he was on cusp to getting another penalty anyway. And he's probably going to get another warning as well if he's not careful. So Manny's also the dark horse as well. He could challenge Dralix for P2. It's going to be ever so tight here. I wonder if he's going to do it, because there is going to be a point where the super soft tires are starting to wear out a little bit, and Menley pushes it at the right time in order to do that, because he cleared a few laps later. So I wonder if Menley's going to get P2. I wonder it's going to be very, very potential right there. We're already getting some votes for driver of the day already. Not going to say, but you can probably see what's going on in the chat anyway. Frank was almost hitting the World Champions again. X-Power getting another penalty. I'm losing track on how many penalties X-Power has got. Oh, Vanquish had a bit of a control for his AI. Maybe his controller disconnected. Maybe, I don't know. But that was a bit of a moment from Vanquish. But I think he's back to normal now. Usually you can tell if it's being controlled by AI. Usually you cannot. I don't know. But X-Power is already losing some time to Vanquish anyway. So it could be comfortably a P6 from Vanquish due to the fact that X-Power's penalties is second to none right now. I think he's got more penalties than pretty much anybody else. So we'll just have to find out as we go to the latter stages of the race then. I wonder how this situation is going to play out as we go to the final 5 races of the championship then, because potentially, due to the fact that Rosberg is not scoring and Manley scoring some more points, it's going to take a while, I think, for the championship to be decided. Last season in F2, I think it got decided in US, it got decided in the United States Grand Prix, but there were less rounds, but it got decided then. But I think it's going to take a lot more rounds, I think, for it to be decided. It may get decided pretty much in possibly Mexico or in Brazil. Maybe Abu Dhabi, I'm not sure. But it's going to be a title fight. It's going to go to the bitter end, I must say, for these guys. And that's why I like F2. So, definitely pretty close. So, anyway, as Menely, he's 3.3 seconds now behind Dralix now. Is it going to be too little too late? Or will Dralix's tyres start to run out ever so slightly? I don't know. Massive shout out to you guys who are still watching right now, and hopefully we will give you a battle towards the end of the Grand Prix to take your mind off. And luckily there won't be another rerun of this, because it's running smoothly at the moment in terms of lobby runners. So that is good to see right now. So I think a good decision is to rerun it to this week, which is that's what they've been doing so far this race. 2 more laps to go as Infamous Clays just passes through sector 2. You almost can see Menley and Dralix on the same camera shot by the looks of things. So that is what they were doing at the moment. But hey ho, as like I said, this is a very bad I really hope they get rid of that camera shot in the next game. I think they probably will, because I really hate it, because it does lose a bit of when there's battles going on and the wrong camera gets caught out in the right way, then it just ruins the whole point of the race, to be honest. But I wonder then, the battle for the last points. Well, pretty much everyone who's finishing right now is going to get points anyway. So LGS, I don't know about him, so obviously he disconnected. I wonder if he's going to get points. I wonder if he's still racing. I think he still is. I think he managed to rejoin by the looks of things. Not entirely sure, but maybe we can get some word from LGS towards the end of the race. Anyways, the final lap of the Grand Prix is about to, well, it's commenced as well. Menley's not that far behind. Dralix could be very intense towards the line here. Who's your bets for? Is Dralix tires on the edge of burning right now? Is Menley going to catch up? We'll have to find out. Pretty much it is dying, because Dralix has been on those super soft for 25 laps now. That is absolutely remarkable. I am very impressed with how he's coping with these tyres right now, to be honest with you. But it's going to get to a point where Menley's going to catch up even fast now, and he can't afford to conserve ever so slightly. But there we go. Here is our race winner. Well, it is about to be our race winner. He's dominated from start to finish. He's led the lap from start to finish, took the lead, stayed there. He's about to cross the final corner. He has no penalties to his name, and he goes on to win the Canadian Grand Prix for XB1 F2. He is celebrating with delight here, and Dralix is about to cross the line in P2 in the Haas car, and I think he just about manages to hold on. But look, Menley is 1.6 seconds. I think it's going to be too late for Menley, I think. As yeah, Dralix gets P2. Well deserved from him, as he gets some points well deserved for the championship as well. So that's going to be tight for third place, I must say. Beaver comes across the line in P4. What about Frangwish? Penalty's going to be interesting. Oh, it's going to be a battle towards the line between Bobbers and Frangwish. Bobbers holds on due to the P5 due to penalties there. My, that was intense. That was intense. LGS holds on to P6, I believe. Looks like he is running. Yeah, he is running, so he managed to get back. LGS P7, X-Power P8, but I wonder if that's going to change on penalties. Sam across the line, he almost hit the wall there. Oh my word. And yeah, Sam gets P9, and I didn't see who got P10. Who got P10? I don't know. So, hey-ho on that. So I will be getting the drivers in for the post-race interviews like I do every week, and should be very interesting actually. As I think Menley has got a few podiums to his name already, and he is gaining quite a lot. So well done to him for getting that podium. So I'm just going to get a party underway now as we get the podium celebrations. And the driver of the day has pretty much got to be in Famous Clays. He has nailed it. And also don't forget there's a few people that gained position as well. So here we go. Well, oh, I've gained a few XP there. That is interesting. I don't know why I've gained a few XP there, but anyway, Infamous Clays takes the win quite convincingly, I must say. 19 seconds. Menley in P3, Dralix in P2, Beaver in P4, Bobbers in P5, Fangwish in P6. Menley and Beaver did get less penalties, and Bobbers, I think, managed to pip into the post on the line. They got the same amount of penalties. My oh my, that was close. LGS P7, X-Power P8, Sam in P9, and Jork rounding up your top 10. And your non-finishers tonight are Rosberg, Verstappen, Clone Troop, Hayden, and Pelzery. Or Pele. I'm going to nickname him Pele from now on, because that's what I called him at the start of the season. So, right, let's get our top 3 in the chat. So, let me just invite these lovely people. So, let me just quickly switch scenes. There we go. There we go. And let me just tone down the music a little bit. There we go. Hopefully that should be okay. So we have got, I should have his new account, hopefully anyway. If not, I will add him. So hold on. Nope, I don't think I have his new account. So I will have to add him. Hopefully Dralix has him. I'll just give me a second. Add friend. Just take a while. So I'm going to invite Dralix and Melanie, so I do have those two. There we go. We've got Melanie as well. I've got the desktop audio muted at the moment, and just so we can get them to the party. And hopefully now I could invite our race winner as well. So, yep, I've got him as a friend now. There we go. So we are just getting our top 3 to the chat. My, that was a very interesting race, and I really enjoyed that. That was fun. So I think we'll just wait for Infamous to come into the party before we start. We've got Melly and Dralix in the party at the moment. Oh yeah, Infamous is about to join as well, so we can get there. So let me just do this ever so slightly. There we go. So here we go. We've got everyone in the party ready to ask us the questions. If you do have any questions in the chat, guys, please let us know, and we will try our best to answer them. But let me start off with Infamous Plays. Well done on your win there. You wasn't here last week, and you basically took the win from start to finish in dominant fashion. There wasn't much going on in the race for you in terms of battles. Were you expecting to get that win today? You were looking very, very strong out there today. Because in the initial run you were running P3 and then it got cancelled, obviously. Are you kind of relieved now that it got rerun and you were in a much better position? Yes, indeed. And in terms of your strategy, was that your plan all along to start on the ultra soft tyres? Because that's definitely worked out for you, and that's probably the key to winning this race. Were you planning to go on the ultra softs all along, or was it a gut instinct to possibly go for the hypers as well, maybe? What was your thoughts coming into the race? Yes, and you're now going to close up to the likes of Frangwish and Dralix in the championship. I do believe you will get P3 back, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. But going into Japan then, technically you're still in the title fight. How do you rate your chances on the last tracks that we've got coming up? Because we've got 5 rounds left. Yeah, very good positive result, and well done for another win there. You're probably on a roll with wins at the moment in this season, so well done. Next we go on to Dralix, another podium for you. Well done, because you must have been very tired after the races you had earlier on, and you probably wasn't expecting a good result here. So was it a shock for you, or were you hoping for a podium anyway? Yeah, pretty much as well. Apparently I can't hear people from, apparently people can't hear people from the party, but it's clearly coming out on my screen anyway, so Anyway, but tell us, what was your plan? What your plan for the strategy all along was to go onto the same tyres, and you were also battling your teammate as well. Was your plan to pit when you did? For some reason, it's not picking up any audio in the party for some weird reason. That is very strange because it is picking up on my screen. That is very odd. So, you weren't able to get the answers there, but I'm not entirely sure what happened because I've clearly got it unmuted. So, my apologies for that. I'm really sorry. I need to get it fixed. Hold on a second. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. So it looked like you people were talking to absolute nothing. Hold on a sec. I did have the right audio and it's still showing up on my thing, so I don't get it. I really don't get it. Anyway, hopefully I fixed it now, but Dralic's going. Sorry about this. Anyway, Dralic's going into Japan. Is that one of your stronger tracks? Yeah, you like it as well, and yeah, well done on your P2, and Melanie, fantastic job on P3, and also closing into Rosberg on the championship. Now your championship rival is out there again. How are you feeling about that in closing Rosberg to the championship now? Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't think anybody can still hear. That is very, very weird. It's coming out on my OBS saying it's fine, but on my screen it's not. So I'll probably have to cut the interview short, I'm afraid. Sorry about that. Literally nobody can hear you whatsoever. I did test this before, so I don't get why it's not working. Hold on, if I try... Oh, this is very weird, but there's no point asking any more questions because otherwise you're going to have blank or anything. I'm really sorry. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm going to cut it short anyway. Thank you so much for watching the stream. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And we will be back next week for the Japanese Grand Prix. So make sure you tune in then, same time at 8 o'clock. And we also got the Singapore Grand Prix for Americas at 1 AM because they didn't run it last week due to the Super Bowl. So, yes, thank you for watching. I will get my desktop audio sorted for next week, and see you soon. Good night.